How's it going out there, YouTube land and all subsequent social media lands? Welcome to an all-new video. In this video, we're going to be doing a review of an upcoming sequel that I had the pleasure of getting to see on the awesome, amazing Convenience Tour pre-screening event in Red Bank, New Jersey, and we're going to talk about that in just a moment, so we're going to get right into that. But before we do that, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss this video and the other videos I've put up. As always, people, if you enjoy my content here on YouTube, definitely check out my other social media platforms such as TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all those great places. I pretty much are on all of them there, so definitely check them out. I pretty much post on a regular basis. And as always, let's get right into this! So welcome one and all to an all-new video. So like I was saying before, we're going to be reviewing a new film that is coming out soon, next week, actually, and I had the pleasure of checking it out on an amazing convenience tour, as it's called, in Red Bank, New Jersey, for its first showing of that awesome convenience store. And of course, I'm talking about the amazing, awesome new sequel film called Clerks 3. Yeah! Clerks 3! Yeah! Clerks 3! Absolutely love the Clerks film franchise. I was so psyched when Kevin Smith said that he was going to be doing a sequel, another one added to this awesome, already great film series. And let me tell you, I was not disappointed completely, but I did appreciate the film and did enjoy it because it was just such a blast of a film. Now, this awesome convenience store, he is going all over, the United States, doing these pre-screenings before it actually releases next week, September 12th or 13th or something like that. And this film was a pretty much a biographical film, really, of his, that he took his own life story and really applied it to the film series and had the different characters kind of redoing what happened to him 4 years back when he had his heart attack. So, I mean, this film is just really interesting. So, of course, this film is none other written and directed by, of course, Mr. Kevin Smith! Oh yeah, Kevin Smith! Woo, Kevin Smith! So of course we all know Kevin Smith from such films as directing Mallrats, playing as Jay and Silent Bob, or Silent Bob in the film, Chasing Amy, Silent Bob Strike Back, Jersey Girl. He also has done Zack and Miri Make a Porno, Tusk, Yoga Hosers, all these kind of films. I mean, he's done quite a few films over the last 20, almost 30 years now. And he is just an awesome director, and I really enjoy it. And everything he usually puts out is really awesome, really well done, and really enjoyable. Now, another film, if you have not seen anything Kevin Smith has done, is a great film that came out in 1999, and is just a really awesome kind of religious, political comedy film that just was so freaking funny, so good, and starred the late, great Alan Rickman. And that, of course, film called Dogma. Yeah! Dogma! Yeah! Absolutely love this freaking film. It's so freaking funny. Super hilarious. George Carlin is in it. He introduces the character Buddy Christ, and oh my god, this movie was just so perfectly done. Such a great satire on religion, and I thought Kevin did such a great job with this film. I mean, the writing was so perfect, so good. Jay and Silent Bob themselves were super hilarious. You had Chris Rock in it, Linda Fiorentino. You even had Selma Hayek in it. You had Jason Lee. I mean, you had pretty much everyone that usually is in a Kevin Smith film in this film, and they are all so fantastic. I mean, there were so many great parts of this film between the shit monster, Buddy Christ, and all that kind of stuff. This movie is absolutely freaking hilarious, and it was just so beautifully written and directed by Kevin Smith, and just is a great film that should definitely be honored of how amazing of a director he is. If you haven't seen Dogma, definitely check it out, people. It's worth the watch. Super funny and a really fun film. Now, when it comes to Clerks 3, once again, like I said earlier, I wasn't 100% disappointed. I didn't care too much for the ending of what he decided to go with, but the rest of the film was absolute perfection. He did such a great job of directing it. He gave us such great liners. He gave us great acting by all the actors. He gave us great visuals and just did an amazing job of bringing such a great classic film and really integrating the other two previous films into this film. And I thought that this film definitely deserves some recognition for how good of a director and writer he is. And definitely I feel this should be on, into the award season. That's just how good he did with this film. If you haven't seen anything Kevin Smith has done, definitely either go check this out when it releases or on the convenience store that you can go get tickets on, kevinsmith.com. Kevin Smith did an amazing job. He did a fantastic job directing and writing it, and also starring as Silent Bob. So like all Kevin Smith films, this movie has a great ensemble cast that are just all great characters, all returning from previous Clerk films, and even, a few from previous other Kevin Smith type of films. Now, of course, to start us off is none other than the amazing man himself, Mr. Dante, Mr. Brian O'Halloran! Oh yeah! Brian O'Halloran! Woo! Brian O'Halloran! Oh god, Brian O'Halloran is amazing. This dude deserves an Oscar for this performance in this film. He was that damn good. And I don't think Brian gets enough credit for how good of a dramatic actor he can be. Because between the scenes he had in this film, the scenes in Clerks 1 and 2, this guy really knows how to bring an emotional crisis into a scene, and he does an amazing, phenomenal job in this film. Now, another film that he was in, of course, was a really fun film that I really enjoyed of him and thought he was fantastic in. And is another Kevin Smith film that I have mentioned before. And I just loved his character in this film. He plays one of the dates on the dating game that's in this film. And I thought he did a really fantastic job. And then, of course, the film called Mallrats. Yeah, Mallrats. Yeah. Oh my god, he was so fantastic in Mallrats. He was so awesome as that character. Him with even his longer hair in this film was absolutely hilarious looking. He looked so weird with that hairdo. But at the same time, he was so freaking awesome as this character. Super funny, had some great one-liners, and just worked really well with, T.S. and Jason Lee's character. And they just really worked really well together. And I thought that Brian did a great job in that whole sequence. He was just super fun. If you haven't seen Brian in anything, definitely check him out in Mallrats. He was really superb. But like I said, I can't praise Brian enough for his role in Clerks 3. He was so amazing. There's a sequence right at the beginning of the film. It's probably not even, probably 30 minutes into the film. And he just does this dramatic sequence that was so superb. And it was so well conceived, and he did that so amazingly. And you really felt he really dealt with this sorrow. You really felt that that's what he was really feeling at that moment. He just did such a phenomenal job. If you're going to go see something soon, definitely go see Brian O'Halloran in this film, Clerks 3. He was freaking superb, amazing, and masterful. So my next actor I'd like to talk about that was in this film is none other than the other kind of main character himself that's a part of the Clerks series. That, of course, is Mr. Jeff Anderson! Oh yeah, Jeff Anderson! Woo, Jeff Anderson! Mr. Randall! Oh my god, Randall. Jeff Anderson is perfect as Randall. He is so awesome, so hilarious. He has been throughout several other, View Askew films, playing the same character, and has played other characters in the films and stuff like that. But he is just so fun as Randall Graves. He's so superb as this character, and you either hate him, you either love him, or you hate him. That's just how good Jeff Anderson was bringing this character to life, and just did a phenomenal job. Now, another film he was in that I really enjoyed him in, and I thought he had a really great performance in, was another Kevin Smith film that came out a few years ago starring Seth Rogen and Elizabeth Banks called Zack and Miri Make a Porno. Yeah, Zack and Miri Make a Porno. Yeah. So Jeff Anderson plays one of the guys that's working on the film with Zack and Miri, and he is absolutely freaking hilarious in this film, and I just loved him. And I thought he did a great job of bringing that character to life and giving us this really solid performance that was super funny, but at the same time, you kind of that guy's kind of creepy type of deal, He was just so good at it, and it was so fun, and it was so different than Randall Graves, so it was nice to see him, portray something a little different, which was really fun. And overall, I thought he just did a really fantastic job in it. If you haven't seen Jeff Anderson in anything, definitely check him out. Zack and Miri Make a Porno. He was really superb in it. But as I said, I loved Jeff Anderson once again returning as Randall Graves in Clerks 3. He was super fantastic. He was amazing. He was awesome. Basically, you probably know that he plays, pretty much Kevin Smith in this film. He has a heart attack, and basically he decides, I need to make a movie about my life because I haven't done anything. And, Jeff did a great job of bringing that to life and, showing us kind of what Kevin's real life story was and dealing with all the different things he had to deal with after having a heart attack. And I just thought Jeff did a really fantastic job in the film bringing that to life. If you haven't seen Jeff Henderson in anything recently, definitely check him out on Clerks 3. He was really fantastic. So that brings me to the final actor I'd like to talk about that was in this film. And that, of course, is none other than Mr. Amazing, Hilarious Elias himself, Mr. Trevor Fuhrman! Oh yeah, Trevor Fuhrman! Woo, Trevor Fuhrman! So Trevor Berman actually really hasn't been in anything else except for these films, and he is freaking hilarious. This guy has great comedic chops that he needs to be in more things. He is super freaking hilarious. Love him as Elias. He is so perfect as Elias. He brought him to life in the first film, and then brought him again to life in this one, bringing the character 360 to a whole new, level, and it was just freaking phenomenal. Now, Trevor Fuhrman, another film I really enjoyed him in, of course, is its predecessor up to this film, and that, of course, is Mr. Clerks 2. Oh yeah, Clerks 2. Yeah, Clerks 2! Absolutely love this film. Trevor is amazing in this film. Our first outing of him as Elias, and he just, brought that whole religious, freak character to life and gave us this really funny ass characterization that dealt with all these, harsh critiques and all these crazy things that Randall's throwing at him, Brian O'Halloran's throwing at him, and, all this kind of stuff, and just him, he had such perfect timing and everything he did in that film, and it just was perfect addition to that film. If you haven't seen Trevor or anything, definitely check him out in Clerks 2. He was really superb. But I love the evolution of Elias in Clerks 3. It was so freaking hilarious. Such a great idea. And one of the greatest parts is Kevin Smith at the actual Q&A after Clerks 3 mentioned how Trevor actually came up with the whole idea of his character transitioning from Jesus freak to Satanist. And he actually came up with the idea of wanting to change outfits every time you see him. And that was actually Trevor's idea, and they actually incorporated it into the film. And it just was a fantastic choice, and Trevor pulled it off so amazingly in this film and made Elias such an amazing character that you just want more of. He was so freaking hilarious. Love seeing him go from that religious, kind of nut to this gothic Satanist type of character that was absolutely freaking hilarious. And how he's learning to deal with it too. Trevor did an amazing job of bringing that to life too, and it just was on point perfection. If you haven't seen Trevor or anything, definitely go check him out on Clerks 3. He was superb in this film. So what is Clerks 3 about? Basically the premise of the film is our character Randall Graves, like I mentioned before, has a heart attack. And after he has the heart attack, he realizes he hasn't done anything with his life, so he decides that he needs to make a movie about his life, and he gets the help of all his friends to make this movie. And the rest of the movie is about him basically dealing with making that film, dealing with the after effects of having a heart attack, and basically just, the rest of the universe of Clerks. It's a really fantastically done film. So well directed, so well written, so well acted by everyone. Super funny from get-go to end. You laugh your butt off, you cry your butt off throughout this film. It just was a superb, amazing film by Kevin Smith. I think this is probably one of his best films of all time. Besides the ending, I did not care for how it ended. I'm not going to say what happens, but I did not care too much for the ending. But still, it was a very superb film, very well done. I give this one 8 out of 10 Golden Movie Boxes up. I highly recommend checking it out. If you don't get to see it on the convenience store, definitely check it out when it comes out from Lionsgate, next week. And it is such a superb film, so well done, and really enjoyable. If you have not seen it, definitely go check it out now. Worth the watch. Really great sequel, and a great addition to the View Askew universe. So that's it for this movie, guys. As always, thank you for watching, thank you for liking, also thank you for subscribing. And if this is your first time here, or you have been here before, don't forget to check out any older new videos you haven't seen mine yet. As always, people, if you want to show support for the channel and you enjoy my channel, definitely check out my links down below. Either from my Patreon page, where I give my awesome subscribers on there all kinds of cool accoutrement, outtakes, bloopers, all that kind of cool stuff, says what I do next and all that kind of cool stuff. Or also the link for the awesome horror pack, where you can get great horror films to your door every month for a great low price. So definitely check that out too. As always, people, catch you in the next one.